This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so good morning team. In this Databricks Data Engineer Master Program, in today's session we will talk about Sparksession versus Spark Context. What is the difference between Sparksession versus Spark Context? And then we will start our first transformation job today. Okay, so I don't want to just go through the theory because there is no much use if you go through the theory, but I'll just directly explain to you through hands-on. Remember team, Spark session is available as a Spark in our notebook. Spark context is available as a SC in our notebook. Now, initially when Spark was introduced, we have only variable called SC. SC means Spark context only available. If multiple people are submitting their jobs on the cluster, all these people are using the same Spark context. What is the problem if multiple developers using the same Spark context to submit their job is, let's imagine there is some configurations we have seen. Default number of shuffle partitions equal to 200. Correct? Whenever there is a shuffling occurred, shuffle partitions 200 will be created. Now let's imagine developer 1 set default value to 100. Developer 2 set the default value to 50. Okay. Now if all these people are submitting on the Spark cluster using same Spark context, now what is happening? By default it is 200. Developer 1 reduce it to 100. Developer 2 reduce it to 50. Now first developer 1 reduced to 100, next developer 2 reduced to 50. Now these two jobs started almost first developer 1 job started, next developer 2 job started. Okay, I'm repeating this to avoid the confusion. Default, by default is it's a shuffle partition 200. Developer 1 set it as 100 and he submitted his job. Within very few seconds, developer 2 set the default partitions to 50. He also submitted. Now what will happen? Now tell me, what is the default shuffle partitions now?
50, sir.
150.
Everybody, hmm?
50.
Everybody please answer team.
150, right?
See whether it is right or wrong. I am seeing only two answers, 150 and 50. Remaining people, are you there in the class or not? Tell me. See, default is 200. Developer 1 reset it to 50. Developer 3 reset it to, sorry. See, default is 200. Developer 1 set it as 100. Developer 2 set it as a 50. Meaning 200 is overwritten by 100. 100 is overwritten by 50. Now, what is the default partitions now? Now it is 50 currently.
50
So,
only.
meaning developer 2, whatever he has set, that is taken as a latest shuffle partition count. Okay. Now this particular count developer 1 does not aware. Correct? Because developer 2 parameters or configurations are overwritten by developer 1 configurations. Correct? Developer 1 configurations are overwritten by the default configuration. See, 200 is the default one which is overwritten by developer 1 configuration. Developer 1 configuration is overwritten by developer 2. So there is a problem with the Spark context. Correct? So that's why they have introduced a Spark session. What Spark session does is all these sessions uses the backend SC only. Backend SC only, but but all the parameters will be, all configurations will be set it at the session level. so that the session will maintain them individually. Developer one session is this. If he has set 100 partitions, his job, his session is going to run with the 100 partitions. So that's why in every notebook there is a default session will be there. So developer 2 is going to run something in his notebook, then there is a separate session will be there. Now recently I only observed 2 days back, I think yesterday, day before yesterday, while developing something in the Azure Databricks. So now recently they have introduced a, see now for example earlier when you attach the cluster to this notebook, you have only options as oh, here also it is showing. See, earlier this option was not there. Earlier this option was not there. You remember, now you have. Directly you can click on new session, it will create a new session within this notebook. Are you getting? Now you no need to detach or attach something like that. You no need to create a new session directly. Understood? That's how, that is the difference between the Spark session and the Spark context. Can you tell me how many Spark contexts we can have, team, in a Spark cluster? Only one Spark context, remember. How many Spark sessions you can have? As many as you want. There is no limitations on that. Okay. So with that, let me just explain to you. First I'm printing Spark. You see it is a Spark session. Okay. So what I'm doing, Tim, Spark dot range of 10 means I'm creating a data frame. So it creates what will be the output of this?
0 to
0
9
to
values.
9.
0 to 9. What is the column name?
Values, sir.
ID. ID. Column name is ID. Correct. Okay, using Spark session, I'm able to create the data frame. Now, I'm just showing the tables. Show tables. Spark session.sql. So SQL code, if you want to run, you can use the SQL function you can call on the Spark session. If you want to run any SQL statements, you can use a Spark session on top of that SQL function you can use to put the SQL code here. Now already we discussed even yesterday, right? To create a data frame using Spark.table, Spark.sql, all those things. Now you see it is clearly saying there is no tables available. It is clearly saying there is no tables available. Okay. Now Spark.create data frame 1 Rama, 2 Krishna, 3 Sai. So this is the data and these are the headers. This is the data frame I am creating. From this data frame, you can create two types of tables. One is temporary table. Second one is called a permanent table. Permanent tables, you are already aware of it. I don't need to discuss separately. Directly, you can say df.write.save as table. It will save the permanent table. Now, I am talking about temporary tables. Okay, these temporary tables are not visible in the catalog, which will be available within the session, within this notebook. First point. The second point is temporary tables. When you are creating, there are two types of temporary tables will be available. One is create or replace temp view, meaning if the temp view is already available, can you replace it? Next one is create or replace global temp view. Global temp view means that particular temporary view will be available across all the sessions in the cluster. All the sessions in the cluster. When it comes to the without using global keyword like create or replace temp view means it will be available only in the current session. This table can be accessed only in the current session. I am repeating this point. Create or replace temp view means it will be available only to the current session. Create or replace global temp view means that table will be available across all the sessions. Okay, now I am taking this result. With that result, I am creating a local temp table. Okay, this is a create or replace temp view means it is accessible only to the current session. See here, same data I am also creating a global temp view. Create or replace global temp view, CP global view. Okay. The third table that I'm creating is permanent table. df.write.mode is override, format is delta, save as table. In this database, create a credit data table. Execute this. Total, I created a 3 tables, right? Okay, so I think this database is not there. Let me create the database first. Create a database, Cloud Pandit DB. First, I'm creating a database because it is not available. Now I'm saving the data. Same data, I am also writing into credit data, which is a permanent table.
Sir, it will be stored as a default location, sir.
Yes, I also explained to you where the permanent table data is storing. If you are not aware, I'll show you once again. Whatever doubts you have, you can ask me them. Okay. Now you see, okay, this database I already created, right? Let me do one thing. Describe extended. You can just say this. Just ask for the details of this table. Describe the extended details of this table. Can you give me? So it will tell you these are the 2 columns we have, and this is the location of the table data, and this table name is this. This is a database name, and this is a delta table. Everybody's clear?
So the temp views will not store anywhere, right? That means.
Temp tables means the data will be loaded into the tables, but those table data will be stored in the nodes node locally. Okay, node local storage. So that's why you can't able to see this particular table data in any of the path. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you run that one show one time?
What?
That is the global temp view is there. Can you run that one and show the data how it is
Yes,
available?
see CP11 also visible, but it is only showing the columns, right? It is not showing everything. Clear? Okay. Now, what is your doubt? Someone asking. CP global view.
Can you select it that data? Instead of looking into the, I mean, so in high level, can you select the data after creating the data frame?
First,
Yeah,
I'll show you the local table.
yeah,
Okay.
this one.
This is the local table data. Then this is the global view data. A global view is throwing an error. So global view is throwing an error because there is some keyword you need to use. In global, one second, so down. I think one second, global underscore temp you need to say. Okay, see, same data. Okay, this is the global view, which is not going to be available in a default schema. It should be available under global underscore temp schema. Okay, so you need to give that explicitly. Next.
So these temporary data will be stored in system memory, compute
Yes,
memory.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, you can see now same data is available in all the tables. Correct. Now
Yes. This
let's
global
come.
temp view is there. This lifetime is up to cluster is active because of it is
Hold on,
available.
hold on, hold on. See, we are not finished. I am on it. I am on it. I am explaining to you the step by step. Okay. So we are going to discuss everything. I'll show you. So Spark.sql show tables. When I say it is showing only it is showing only what local temp,
CP11.
right? So now I am saying show views in global underscore temp. So now you can see when I say show views in global temp, it is showing the global temp view and local temp view both. Okay. Now select star from CP11. So I'm showing you the data. Okay, this is the data. And CP global view, I'm showing you the data. Okay. Now you have seen the data in this table. You have seen the data in this table, both the same. Now the question is, till here there is a one session called a default session called Sparksession is available. Correct? Correct, team?
Yes, sir.
Now
Yeah.
what I'm doing now, I'm creating a new session called a developer session. From the existing Spark session, I can just create a new session. I'm creating a new session. Now this is a developer session. Okay. Now if you have any doubt, you can also see print Spark. Okay, this is the default session. See this default session address and the developer session which I created currently, both are at a different addresses, meaning these two are at two different sessions. Now I am using a developer session to see what all tables are available. It is showing only the global view. Why? It's a new session, another session. Now using this session, I am asking the other way is show tables. So it is not showing any tables, because when you ask a global temp, it is showing the global view, but normal show means it will show only local table. There is no local tables. So now I am using this developer session. Okay, you are able to understand that table, whatever is the CP11
Yeah.
which we created is not visible. Okay, now let's say I'm using this developer session range of 15. I am creating a table called CP2. Okay, now I'll ask show tables. It will show the table CP2 because it is local to developer session. I'll query that CP2. Okay, 0 to 14. Now I want to understand this Spark session and developer session using what is the Spark context application ID. I want to check. Both are using same Spark context application ID or not? Meaning Spark context is same for all the Spark session, but Spark sessions are different. Okay. Now next thing, I'm printing the Spark, I'm printing the developer session. You can see both the addresses are different. This is a tester session, team. I'm creating a tester session. Show view in global view using the tester session. Third session, I'm asking the, can you show me the table? See, it is showing only the global view that we created. Okay. Now I am asking just printing tester session, which is created from a, see both addresses are same or different. Both addresses are showing same, right? One second. Oh, sorry, sir. This and this you need to see, right? Developer session and tester session. You see, last number is 50, but it's 1650. This is 7050. Meaning tester session is also different, correct? That's why when you say show views in global team, it is showing only global. Now, if you ask a tester, this is different address. Now, if you ask a tester Sparkcontext application ID, it will be same. You can say 17559085. 17559085. Matching? Yes. Sparkcontext will match. Now, if you ask a tester session using tester session show table, it will not show anything. Show view in global temp, it will show only the global view. Okay. So now you see tester view and Spark session, tester session and Spark session, both are different address. Understood? Now I want to create my own Spark session. Do we have default Spark session or not, team? Do we have default Spark session available or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Available.
Now
Yes.
you
Yes.
see what this does is Spark session build the Spark session class. Can you build a Spark session with application name is testing, but it will not consider the name as a testing. It will just take a default one. And I am saying get or create. Get or create. This is the main key. You have to focus. Get or create means if the Spark session already available, get it. If it is not available, create it. That is the meaning. Now if you print it, So there is a Spark session which is created at this particular address. But if you look at this address and Spark session address, both are same or not?
Same only, sir.
Why it is same?
Maybe it's a default, sir. That is the reason.
It
Not
is
default.
happen
We
get.
asked
It
get
is get.
or queue. If it
Okay,
is
okay, okay.
available,
All
get
are
it. Otherwise, create new. So it is just getting a new session. Sorry, it is just getting the existing session and assigning to the variable called Cloud Pandit. So that's why when you print a Cloud Pandit, it is showing the same address. Understood?
okay, sir.
Now, if you print a Spark and Cloud Pandit, both will have a same address because it is just getting that. Now, if you use Cloud Pandit.sql, so it will show the same table that we created initially. But if you want to create a new session, Spark new. Okay, how you want to how you can create a new session? Cloud Pandit dot new session. If you say it will create a new session using that Spark new. If you ask to show tables, it will show only the global view. Similarly, now I will try to create a new Spark context. Generally, if it is a on-premise environment, we will create like this. Okay, Spark context app name is tester. So it will throw an error. See what it is saying, cannot run multiple Spark contexts at once. Existing Spark context is available in a Databricks shell with a master local of 8 cores, 8 threads. Understood? What it is saying, you cannot run multiple Spark contexts at once, it is saying. Understood? I hope everybody is clear. Now I am entering into the today's session. I'll just go to the like I just completed the difference between this Spark session versus Spark context. If anybody have any doubts, feel free to ask me. That is the first question. Yeah, you can ask me if you have any questions till then. We will see this.
Is it
So
possible
this
we are creating multiple sessions in the one notebook in real time?
You have to tell me that.
yes,
Yes.
We
No, we
discussed
both create.
this
The
something
system
people
will
will call. You are saying doing same thing. We explained till now same thing. You are asking same question again.
no. This type of scenarios will come in real time because of one session is enough, correct? Whatever the coding we are writing, one
One
session is
session is enough, but normally what happens? Multiple developers are going to use the multiple notebooks, right? Every
Hmm.
notebook uses the different Spark session, right? But all these different Spark sessions use the same Spark context, correct? Now
Yes,
developer one set some default configuration, developer two set some default configuration that will not override because now we are handling a different Spark sessions. But end of the day, all these Spark sessions are using same Spark context. Understood? That is what I
understood.
want to convey. So I think already we created a mount point team. So let me just get the existing mounts. Cloud Pandit MS Dev blob, which is already mounted with the Cloud Pandit. Cloud Pandit MS Dev blob. Same storage we created a mount point yesterday.
So is these sessions will get stored anywhere? Suppose I created a session
Hmm.
today and some tomorrow also I created with the same name. Will that be eh,
No, 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 no,
right?
no.
Not.
That is totally different. Session will expire.
Oh,
For example, if the cluster is inactive, cluster is restarted. Because every day you will not even every day. After some time, if some reason, if you detach and attach, new session will be created. And one more thing is, why do you really want to focus on same session? You know,
here my, yeah,
to
here
worry.
my question is like suppose I created one session today. I kept the default partition of 400. So
Hmm,
I ran the job. It is ran successfully today.
hmm,
So
hmm,
tomorrow the data got increased suddenly. It's 10 GB, more 10 GB.
hmm.
So then the default partition which has like kept. 200. That is not sufficing that to process the entire data. So in this case, I want to know what partition I kept earlier. I may forget in this scenario, right? So after a long time. So that
Yeah,
is the reason. Yeah, yeah.
one second. I think I don't know where you are thinking, but let me just give you some clarity on that. Okay, 1 minute. I think you are going in totally wrong direction. Just a minute. I'll give you some clarity to you. Okay. So it's okay. Okay. So now first thing is what it is saying cannot infer schema. But okay. So I just also give my credit data. Data. Okay, it is able to read. Okay. So let me give you clarity on that. Okay. Now you are saying I want to set some default configuration, default shuffle partition count. Okay. So how you will set you will
Config.
put here spark dot shuffle dot partition. So the exact partition full name I did not remember key. So by default it is 200. You will set it as 100 in your first cell. So whenever your notebook is running, first it is overwriting shuffle partitions from 200 to 100, then your code will execute. Today your code is ran. Tomorrow you are running again with the new data. What you will do? Again you will run from the first cell onwards till end, right? When you are running from first cell till end, default it will see if you are not using this, default it will keep it as a 200 only. Why you have to remember yesterday I set it as a 200 or 400. Today you need to run anyhow entire notebook. So if you are running entire notebook, you can see in your notebook what you are overwriting. You are overwriting with 100. No, it is not 100 is not enough. Let me make it as 150. You can make it as 150. But
Okay.
one more thing on this full clarity. We are not going to change these partitions and all daily because this is not something you are learning, right? That is a production code. You can't go and okay, let me today make it as 100, tomorrow 150, day after tomorrow 19. You can't make it like that. We know that clients will tell you approximately this much data I'm going to get it. So based on that, we will be designing a proper partitions. Now you will be setting them. Okay, you are not going to change it. Okay, today I got more data, let me change it now. Maybe 1 or 2 days use data you may get it because there are some failures happen in last 1 or 2 days. In such cases, last 3 days of data once you are processing, you may get a huge data. Except that daily when client says this is a range of data that we are getting from my source, they may get only that range of data only, maybe little bit high or low. It will not go suddenly very high where you want to come back and adjust your entire code. If you are going to adjust your code every day based on your data, then developer has to work on a same use case every day. Are you getting?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions, Tim? Everybody's clear, team?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's move on. Mm, okay, so let's start, team. First, you know how to read a CSV file and create a data frame. You are aware. Next, I am showing you how to select the columns. So multiple ways you can select the columns. I will explain to you multiple ways so that at least if you one way you forget, you will have other ways to select it. Okay. This is the data frame. Okay, you want to select what you want to select, columns, right? You can give those column names in a double quotes just like this. That is a one way. The second way is you can give those columns as a list, right? This is a list. Here what I have done, I have just passed them individual columns, correct? But here what I am doing, Tim, I am
Taking a list.
creating a list of columns. See, I have total 4 columns, correct? But out of which I am taking credit ID, credit name, credit score. I am not taking a credit name. I am taking credit ID, card type, and a credit score. Sorry, card type I am not taking. Credit ID, credit name, credit score I am taking. Understood? Here I have taken only credit name, credit score. So in below as a list I am taking credit ID, credit name, and a credit score. Correct here. Able to understand? Next, so df underscore csv dot columns means what I will get the
List of columns from the data frame.
list of columns. So within that list of columns, if I say one column from the list, what I am doing from the 1th index onwards, I am taking all the columns. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. So I am skipping the first column, then I am taking second, third, fourth, and so on, all the columns from the first index onwards. Correct?
Yep.
That is the third way. The fourth way is instead of hard coding those column names credit underscore name and credit underscore score, you can use a call of credit underscore name, call of credit. 1 second, team. df.select call of credit name comma call of credit score. Okay, call of credit name comma call of credit score. Now you can take these 2 columns, team. Clear? So now what is the advantage of mentioning column of call function? Call is, remember, it is a function. Okay, call is a function. Call of credit name comma call of credit underscore score, team. Are you all getting? Total 4 ways. I am repeating once again. First way is to the select statement directly you can pass individual column names. Second way is you can select your columns in a list. Third way is you can take your columns into a slicing. df.columns you can use, it will give all the columns, and within that one column means you are going to take columns from the first index. Next, df.select call of credit name comma call of credit score, meaning you are taking all the columns, but here I am mentioning column as a column name. I am mentioning within the call function. There is advantage of it. What is the advantage of this is, for example, credit ID, card type you have. So call of credit score, when you are taking, you can do a alias, meaning you can change the column name. Are you getting? So if you want to do further transformation on top of the existing column, you can mention that column name within the call function. Call of credit score means I am renaming that as a cust score. Call of credit name, I am renaming it as a cust underscore name. Okay, what is the advantage? What is the advantage?
Any further
We can
transformations, it will
change
be
the
helpful.
Alias name.
columns.
Clear?
Clear, sir.
Now let's start executing one by one. So first I'm just selecting only my required columns like this. This is the base. Base I am not overwriting. Okay, base data frame will have always 4 columns. Okay, see, from that I am taking only 2 columns, assigning to another variable called df underscore select, and I am showing that. Again, I am taking a df underscore csv. It has all 4 columns again. Even though you selected, you are not reassigning back to same variable, right? This data frame will have always 4 columns. From that, I am taking now only these 3 columns. This time as a list, I am selecting only these 3 columns and I am showing you the data frame. Now, this is the data frame that I have, dot columns of 1 colon. Okay, so you see first what it is giving, except credit id, except, see first you see df dot columns means all 4 columns it is giving. 1 colon means 0th index, first index. It start from first index, everything it will give. See, credit id will not come now. Understood? Now you take this data frame dot select, take the data frame dot columns of 1 colon. So meaning you take a card type, credit name, credit score. See, card type, credit name, credit score. Card type is not coming, correct? Now take this data frame again. This time I'm saying call of credit name, call of credit score. End of the day your result is same. Okay, if you don't want to apply any further transformation on top of it, the result is same. You can directly even use these columns like a first way. Now you can select the columns. Some of the columns, if you want to rename, put them in a call and you can use the alias to do the renaming. See, cust name and cust score and cust name. Everybody understood how to select the required columns from the data frame. Everybody is clear.
Yes.
Yes.
How to rename the column, everybody understood.
Yes, using alias.
Okay. Now I will also tell you the second way to rename the columns, which is most preferred or used way. Let me explain to you. This is the data frame. Okay, data frame has the original columns. Okay, on top of this df underscore cs, which has original column, I'm taking credit name. I'm saying customer underscore name, credit score, credit underscore score, credit underscore score. I am making it as a customer underscore score, and I want to show that. Is it working here also? What is the function that I've used? Df dot with column rename. Select for selecting the columns, with column renamed for renaming the columns. Interviewer will ask like this: I have a few columns that I want to rename. Can you tell me how you will rename those columns in the data frame? You have to say df dot with column renamed. When you say that, he will understand. Okay, he know the basic, the syntax is okay, but he know what to use. When you say how to select particular columns, when interviewer asked, you have to say df dot select. You can just pass your columns as individual columns or as a list, as a slice operator, as you can also select some columns, and some columns if you want to rename everything, you can do it in a single select statement. You can explain all those things like that. Clear? Now interviewer will ask immediately a question, right? What is the question that he may ask? See, this is not interview perspective. Why I am covering this is, what are the chances of the questions which they may ask also, I am trying to cover here, so that you will be able to remember. If you are not able to focus, you can focus on these important points. Okay, the thing here is, so the next question, can you guess it? What interviewer can ask? We can see, I will ask, tell me.
I have a 10 to 15 columns. Can you rename it in a single shot? Something like that.
That you can do it. That is not a problem. See, now I'll give you a clue. What kind of question he will ask, you have to guess it. The question is, select you can use for selecting the columns and you can use for renaming. With the column renamed also you are using for the renaming. Now what question he can ask?
What's the difference between these two?
Which one is
Very good.
optimized?
Simple question, right? What is the difference between these two? If you are renaming using both, when to use what? It is not that the same thing will be there for all the use cases, right? Very rarely some things will be identical, both will do the same, but here it is not same. Okay, let's understand that. Now df underscore csv is having what, Tim? Let's query this. It has only original columns, correct?
Sir.
Now I'm giving a credit name to rename it as a cost name. I am trying to give a credit score 1 to rename it as a cost score. Credit underscore score 1 is available or not available?
Not available, sir.
Not
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 available.
available. So when it is not available, what do you think? Will it give error or it will not give error? Do you think it will give error or it will not give error?
It will not consider, I think, sir.
Yes, simple. That is all okay. Give me my question. You have to give the straight answer. Will it give error? Will it not give error? Guess it. I'm not expecting exit answer.
It won't give. It won't give
It
any
will not
error.
give error, I think, sir.
Okay. It will not give any error because with the column renamed is going to simply ignore if the column is not available. See here, credit name is there. It is renamed as a customer name. Credit underscore score 1 is not there. It is not throwing any error. But if you come here, I'm taking a DF1. Let's say DF1. Now credit ID is there, cust name is there. Now this cust name, let's say call of, I'm just renaming it as a test column. Okay. Now will it work it in? Because credit ID is there, I'm selecting. Cust name is there, I'm just taking and I am renaming. Will it work? Yes, 100% it will work. Okay, it is working as a test. Now let's say this column is not there. User has given a cust underscore name 1. What will happen, Tim?
It will throw error.
It will throw error. Okay, that is the only difference between the select and the with column renamed to rename the columns. Understood, everybody?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now let's understand the real use cases, when to use these things in real time. Okay, now I'll take a help of chat gpt, okay, to make the things little quicker. Generate 3 data frames with some common color. So to make the things right simple, I just wanted to use I'm just copying this thing. I'm just keeping them here. Okay. So I know that we don't require Sparksession and we may need these functions relatively. Okay. So data frame 1 we are creating, data frame 2 is there, data frame 3 is there, and we are just showing all the data. See, team. Data frame is ID, name, age, ID, name, salary, ID, name, department. Remember, this is basically employee ID, employee name, and employee age. This is employee ID, employee name, employee salary. This is employee ID, employee name, department. Now you have a 3 data frames like this. Okay. Now I want to create a renaming. So I will create a renames like this. Okay, like this I have created a rename. Now you see DF1 I have taken. Now I want to rename the data frame 1 columns. I will be doing like this actually. The way that I will be doing these things is whatever data comes, that I'll take it as a like this. Maybe you see now df1 I am assigning to the df, and I'll be doing the same logic here. The logic is same, key comma value in d dot items. You remember dictionary, you can take a key value. Now df dot with the column renamed, and I want to say key comma value df dot show. Now for data frame 1 I am renaming the columns. Is it working fine? For data frame 2 I'll rename the columns. Is it working fine? For data frame 3 I'll rename. Is it working fine? Now you
Yes.
see ID column, name column is same across all the tables. And these are different. But now I have used a single logic to rename for data frame 1, data frame 2, data frame 3. So these data frame 1, data frame 2, data frame 3 will come in dynamically in runtime, right? So what happens? These table names you will give dynamically in runtime to the notebook. When we read a table, the column names will come dynamically. So I'll be taking those column names and I'm trying to rename the entire data frame. So all the data frames I'm able to rename using a single mapping. So it is very difficult to maintain for every table one mapping, isn't it? For table one mapping, for table two one mapping, table three one mapping. You can't maintain that way. Are you all getting?
Okay,
Are
sir.
we
Yes.
all able to understand? It is, like you can maintain it. It is only thing is duplicate mappings you need to maintain, and for every table you need to write a logic. If the table name is this, then you execute this particular dictionary you take to rename. If the table name is this, you have 100 tables. You can't put 100 different conditions. Understood? But if you able to create a single dictionary like this, and with the column rename, if you use what with the column rename does, it will try to rename id to employee id, name to employee name, age to employee age. If the age is not available, it will simply ignore it. So that is the beauty of the with column renamed. That's why we use with column renamed in such use cases. This is a real use case where we have used it. Understood? You should understand everything I told you yesterday itself in the group. You have to be very, very, very careful because we started data transformations. Now I'm selecting the df underscore select. Now let's understand df underscore select dot show. What is the data that we have here? So this is the data. Now drop underscore duplicates, drop duplicates. Remember, both are aliases. Alias means these are different names used, but the functionality is same. See here, drop underscore duplicate is an alias for drop duplicates. Understood? Let me also give you this documentation link for Spark. Okay, next. So you understood there are duplicates, right? Those duplicates I can able to remove it using a drop underscore duplicates. Okay, drop duplicates. Column name is credit ID and test rate. See, credit ID and test just removed and unique records are there. Again, if you ask df underscore select, which is the original one, it will not have. It will have the duplicates, so it will not have only the unique records. Understood? Because this original data frame we are not changing, right? So df underscore select drop duplicates. It is very similar to same, right? Both are same. unique record. Again, I am showing you df underscore select will be same, right? Same data. Now what I am doing, distinct. What is the difference between, okay, so distinct is also doing this, but what is the difference between the distinct and drop duplicate step? Another interview question. Interviewer can ask like this: what is the difference between
Drop,
distinct versus drop underscore duplicates?
so drop duplicates based on column. Distinct it all columns, it will affect in all columns.
Here also it is doing based on all columns only, right? Where you are mentioning based on one column.
Distinct
Distinct
won't delete
unique.
the.
Hmm? So as of now, whatever you have seen is the row level duplicates only we have dropped. Now the difference between the drop duplicates and distinct is, if you see this is the original data. On this original data, if you say df dot distinct, distinct will not take any parameter, any column name, meaning distinct can only ignore the row level duplicates. Distinct can only remove the row level duplicates. Clear? But whereas this drop duplicates can take a column. Now this is the original data. Okay, so even though I applied a distinct on top of df underscore csv, it is not removing anything, because if you see overall data, overall on entire data, none of these rows are duplicated. So but what I am asking to drop duplicates is, hey, check the credit id column. Okay, this is the credit id is there. Again credit id is repeating. If you find the second occurrence of the same credit id, can you remove it? That is what drop duplicates can do. Distinct cannot able to do this, but drop duplicates can do this. It can able to remove the business key duplicates, whereas distinct cannot remove the business key duplicates. It can remove only the row level duplicates. Everybody understood? I am shouting. You have to understand, team. You have to put your efforts from your end. Otherwise, things will not go well. Clear? Everybody understood. What is the difference
Yes.
between drop duplicates versus distinct? Can you tell me now?
Distinct, ignore row level duplicates. Drop duplicates, remove the business key duplicates.
Drop duplicates will also do the row level duplicates removing, plus it also can remove the business key duplicates.
Okay.
Okay, distinct can remove only row level duplicates. Drop duplicates can remove row level duplicates, plus it can also remove the business key duplicates. Clear? What is the difference between the with the column renamed versus select renamed it?
With the column rename, if column is not there, also no issue. It won't throw any error. But select using of the alias, if column is not there, means it will throw error.
Okay, very good. What is the difference between Sparksession versus Sparkcontext team?
Sparkcontext is the only one for the entire thing, but we can able to use the different sessions. For all sessions are used for the same context.
We can create as many Spark sessions as we want.
Okay, right. Right. You can see df underscore csv. So we have all this data. Now df underscore csv dot distinct. Now what is happening? Distinct, it will try to remove only row level duplicates, but nothing is getting removed. Okay, because there is no row level duplicates. Now I am taking this df underscore distinct, this result, but this result is nothing but the original data only. Now I want to filter out the records. Okay, how to filter the records from data frame? I am showing you. Df dot filter. See, multiple ways you can do. This is a SQL kind of syntax. Okay, this is a Spark syntax. Okay, maybe you can use filter or where. Again, let me show you. Filter and where are both are aliases. You see here, where is an alias for filter? You are using a where, you are using a filter, doesn't matter here. Okay. Now this is a SQL syntax. This is a data frame syntax, Spark syntax. You see here. In SQL also, what we will do, select star from table where credit ID not equal to 4. Correct. We will put same, right, where credit ID not equal to 4. Same thing here. But here call of credit ID not equal to 4. So this is a data frame syntax. You need to understand. So meaning I am filtering to get only the records which are except credit ID for all the records. Here also same thing. Correct. Now you can also do what? You can take this result. From this result, now I am taking where credit ID equal to 3 or credit name equal to Srinu. Meaning wherever you have a credit ID 3, you take these 3 records. No need to check other condition, because R means if first condition satisfy, you return that record to the output immediately. No need to check the other condition. Credit ID 3 return to output. Credit ID 3 return to output. Credit name Srinu, check it. Credit name Srinu, 6 record return. Srinu, 6 record return, meaning 36, this 36. Total 4 records you return to the output. Or means any one condition satisfy, immediately send that record to the output. Okay. So this is normally plain SQL syntax. This is a Python syntax, PySpark. R means pipe symbol I am using to do the same operation. Only thing is I am using a pipe. Clear? But where you are using, filter you are using, doesn't matter. Anything you can use based on your comfort. Okay. Next, take this original data from df underscore where. This time I am putting a condition called end. Meaning, first you need to check where credit ID 3. Okay, this is a credit ID 3. You have to wait. Now you need to check, take credit underscore name equal to Krishna, meaning in the same row, you also need to check the credit name column is also matching with the Krishna or not. If these two conditions are matching, then only this record will come out. Then only this record will come out. Understood? Clear, team? End condition.
Yes.
End condition. Clear? Both records should match, like both conditions should match in a single row. So ID matching, name is matching. So it is fine. Okay, next. Call of credit ID equal to 3 and call of credit name equal to Krishna. So this is also going to be matched. Df underscore where dot show. Okay. See, again I am showing the original data. This time I am talking about the in and not in operators. Already we discussed about in and not in. These are membership operators. If credit ID in 2 and 3, see, credit ID not in 2 and 3 means except 2 and 3, you return all the records. Are you getting? Wherever credit ID not in 2 and 3 means except credit ID 2 and 3, you take all the records. See, you are not getting credit ID 2 and 3, you are getting all other records. Here I am saying credit ID in 2 and 3 means you will be getting a credit records where you have a 2 and 3. See here. I am not taking this result team. I am taking a original data frame. On original data frame, we have all the data available. On all the data, I am putting these filters. Are you getting? Now this is a plain SQL syntax, right? Not in 2 comma 3, but data frame syntax is credit ID is in 2 comma 3, meaning wherever 2 and 3 is there. To make it as a not in, right, you have to use a simple tilt here before the column. If you use the tilt, it will become a not in. Is not in. See here, except 2 and 3 you are getting in the output. I am taking a data frame dot show. Okay, this is the data. Now I am sorting by default. It is I am doing on a credit ID column. So as I am mentioning, default sorting, it is a ascending, lowest to highest. But if you want highest to lowest credit scores, we have to say DESC of credit underscore ID. Then automatically it will sort the data in the descending order, highest to lowest. This is a plain SQL syntax. Okay, direct column. But here you see call of credit ID I am giving sorting only, but instead of mentioning column name, I am mentioning call of credit ID, which will do the ascending order. If you want to descending order, on top of this column, I am calling a DESC function, another function I am calling that on top of that column to arrange it in the descending order. Now, wherever you have used a sort, now you can also use this sorting can be done using the order by. Now you have a doubt now. Sort by and order by both are same. You see, sort the output in each bucket by the given columns in the file system. Whereas order by, see order by returns a new data frame sorted by the specified columns. Returns a new data frame sorted by a specified columns. Meaning you should understand there is a difference between the order by. See, currently whatever you are seeing is same. Whatever currently you are seeing, result is same. It is ascending by default. When you say DESC of that column, it is going to be descending. This is going to be the descending. Again, if you ask a call of credit ID, this is again ordering the data by ascending. Okay, see ascending, lowest to highest. DESC means again it is going to be ordering the data in the descending. Okay, highest to lowest. You can also do the ordering on two columns. Sorting or ordering can be done on two columns, CID and CNAME. Now you see first 1 1 1 2 2 is arranged, and the next ABC, next BAC, next ZBC. Okay, next here also J Srinu H ZI. So it is able to sort the data by two columns. But what is the difference between sort and order by?
Sort
So
has as a
within the
yeah,
bucket, within the
see this is the
partition level.
yeah, very good. This is the driver, these are the workers, right? We know already partitioning and all we discussed, right? Partitions. Now sorting when you used, the ordering will happen within these partitions. When the driver received all this data, the overall data may or may not be in a order. That is the problem with the sort. But if you use the order by, it will collect all the data, and once it collect all the data, here it will do the single sorting, which basically order is guaranteed. But what is the problem?
To get the data into driver will be impact.
Yeah, driver is you know that driver will have a less memory compared to the driver, compared to the workers, because workers will have a multiple computers, whereas driver is a single computer. Even though compared to the worker nodes, driver memory is high, but due to the single driver, the overall memory may not be sufficient to keep all the data and shuffle within the driver node side. So that will cause the problem. Okay, so that's why when you are doing order by, you have to be very careful which one to choose. Clear? That's all for today, team. Please let me know if you have any questions. Any questions? No questions? We are good. Okay, I'll share the assignment in the WhatsApp group. I request, because some people were asking, sir, we need some more assignments to complete it. But I was not given because those are directly you need to practice whatever we discussed. But from now onwards, practice whatever we discussed and solve the some of the problems that I'm giving, so that you will come to know. Because just learning how to select, how to filter, instead of that, if you take some use case and if you start doing transformation, okay, you will come to know, okay, for this particular use case, in order to achieve the end result, what all transformations are required, how to apply this transformation, you will know the syntax, you will know problem solving, everything you will come to know. Okay.
So this is
Okay.
kind of coding questions, right? I was saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes, I'll give, because Sam Reddy, there are some people who are asking for assignments. I'll share those things. Okay. Okay, team. If no questions, then thank you all. That's all for today.